What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dollars and Dumbbells podcast. I'm your host, Justin Green, certified financial planner. And today I'm really excited to talk to you about the 5 money habits that are holding you back as a solopreneur. So let's hit the disclaimers real quick and then hop straight into the episode. Justin Green is the founder of Assist FP, a financial planning firm, and Be a Wealthy Coach LLC, an outsourced CFO service. All opinions expressed in this episode are mine solely and not reflective of Assist FP or Be a Wealthy Coach. As always, this podcast is not advice and it is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your own financial, tax, and or legal advisor before making any decisions. All right, so the 5 money habits that are holding you back as a solopreneur, online coach, creator, business owner. Number 1, not tracking your income and expenses separately from your personal accounts. I used to think this was like only an issue that new business owners had, but after hundreds of conversations with solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, I found out that this is a very common issue. Most business owners, they're just too busy, they're overwhelmed, and they put this on the back burner and then they just never come back around to it. So this is super important, and this is the reason I put this as number 1. You need to separate your personal and your business accounts. If you're an LLC, open up a business checking account and everything should flow through there. Ultimately, when you do this, one, there's a lot of like legality issues for the LLC if you're an LLC owner, but for the second reason is just that you want to have better data. It's going to be easier to file your taxes, but it's also going to be really easy to make business decisions when all of the data is separate and you're able to easily tell, okay, this is my income, these are my expenses, and just have those KPIs to track. Number 2, speaking of KPIs, you're tracking the wrong KPI in your business. You're tracking revenue, and what you really need to be paying attention to is actually the profit. So the equation for profit is revenue minus expenses equals profit. There's nuances in there, but for simplicity's sake, think of it as revenue minus expenses equals profit. And the reason that profit is so much more important than revenue is because you can't pay your bills with revenue. You can pay your business bills, but you're a solopreneur. You also need to hit your personal goals, pay your personal bills, your living expenses, etc., with your business income. So profit is what's actually going to flow back to you and your personal being. So it's really important to pay attention to that number and make sure you're not wasting money unnecessarily on expenses. As an online business owner, you shouldn't have that many expenses. And so this is really important. The KPI that you want to track in your business is profit and not revenue. Now, revenue is a lever, though, that you can pull when trying to increase or improve your profit. There's revenue, there's expenses. Early on, it's a little harder to pull that revenue lever, so you have to really focus on keeping expenses low. But as you grow as a solopreneur and your messaging and your offers are really like solid, then you can pull that revenue lever and pull that and increase revenue. But it's so important to make sure that when you're increasing revenue, it's also increasing your profit, because the mistake I've seen a lot of business owners make is they find ways to increase the revenue, but it also increases their expenses sometimes more than they already were. And therefore, their profit rate is actually decreasing as their revenue increases. So that's something to keep an eye on. All right, the third one is you're using high interest debt, such as credit cards, for business investments. This is such a trap, and it's encouraged online so much by coaches and course creators, etc. I'm here to tell you, don't do it. If you don't have the cash on hand to make these investments early on, one, maybe you aren't ready for solopreneurship or entrepreneurship, but two, maybe you just need to consume some free content on YouTube, etc., and just get to 5 to 10K months before you take some money off the table and invest this in a course or a coaching program. Listen, I love coaching. I think it's super important. It's super helpful for growing as an individual and as a business owner. However, I'm just not willing to go into debt for it. There's too many free resources out there. You have two main resources, time and money. Early on in your business journey, you're going to have a lot of time on your hands, but you might not have as much money. Later on, you'll have less time, more money, and you can use that money to buy coaching courses, etc., to expedite the process. Right now, you need to invest your time and not your money. So don't go into high interest credit card debt, personal loans, etc. It's going to add an unnecessary pressure on you to make more money in your business quicker. And some people, they think that they thrive under this pressure when the back's up against the wall. But honestly, I've just never really seen it work out that way. It's very rare that someone is able to actually do that. And even if they are, by the time they're done fighting that battle, they're so burnt out that the business just implodes anyway. So don't do it. Just don't do it. Avoid it. Number 4, you're not saving for a rainy day, or you don't have an emergency fund in place. So if you have a fully funded emergency fund, then yes, this is a habit that you can actually ignore, because you don't really need to be saving towards it until you use some of those funds and need to replenish it. But if you don't have an emergency fund, it's a good rule of thumb as a solopreneur to have 6 to 12 months. But this is contextual, right? And everyone's personal life is different. If you have a high earning spouse at home, maybe you can get away with a little bit less of an emergency fund. But at the end of the day, you just want this in cold hard cash, sitting in like an online savings account, earning about 4 to 5% interest. And you're not worried that it's not invested and it's not earning money and what you could do with it to earn a higher return. That's just not the goal with this money. This money is there to be liquid, which means accessible. You can easily take the money out of the bank when the time comes, and you can repair your car, fix your home, whatever it is that you need the money for on a rainy day, it's there. All right, number 5, the last one we're going to talk about today is you're not investing into a self-employment retirement account. This is huge. I see so many solopreneurs who don't even realize that they have this as an opportunity for them, but you do. And it's actually one of the best strategies to save on your taxes. So TikTok and Instagram, they're filled with all these like luxurious strategies on how to avoid taxes, really is what they're saying, which is not a good idea. However, there are a lot of legal ways to reduce your taxes as much as possible. As a business owner, there's a lot of options for you. One of the best ones, in my opinion, are self-employment retirement accounts. And this is deferring taxes to later on when you're in a lower income years, lower earning years. And so this is a really good opportunity for you to not only reduce your taxes, but also save for your future. And one thing I just want to point out, don't get held up on the word retirement here, because I know a lot of people listening, myself included, don't really believe in the traditional sense of retirement, the whole like work till 65 and then retire. So don't get hung up on that. You can still benefit from these accounts. Just think of them more as long-term savings accounts, accounts that you're not going to tap into for probably 30 to 40 plus years. There are some stipulations. There are some penalties if you tap into them before age 59 and a half. So these are long-term savings accounts. You definitely want to treat them as such, but they can be extremely beneficial for you as a business owner saving for your future. All right, so those are the 5 money habits that I think are holding you back as a solopreneur, entrepreneur, online business owner, coach, creator, etc. If that's you, make sure you're not committing any of these 5 bad money habits. If you want to learn more about how to manage your cash flow, go ahead, head over to assistfp.com cash-flow-training and download the free video training on how to manage your business finances. And until next time, stay wealthy, my friends.